Hello Stampers, this is Sheila. Welcome to Stamping Wishes, my blog, and to our Glitter Queen blog hop for this month. And the theme is a holiday card. So this is the holiday card that I've made, and I thought it came out just beautiful. It's simple, it's kind of on a monotone basis, a monochromatic basis, where that I'm only using the two colors to make this design. So anyway, the way it works is that this piece comes out and this one opens to give you your greeting. And like I said, it's very easy. So let's go ahead and get through our supplies right now and go from there. All right, so for your embellishments, this is all from everything I used is in the new Snowflake showcase that actually goes on. It's a suite that goes on sale tomorrow for everybody. Demonstrators got a little bit early, so we got to play with it, and this is what I'm doing a complete card on. Okay, so these are some of the snowflakes that will be available. Aren't they beautiful? They really are pretty. So we're going to use one of those for the center of the, I'll bring this back over so you can see. We're going to use that for the center. And then we've cut of the shimmery glimmer paper. We've got the 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. We're going to have one piece of that. Then we have Whisper White that is also 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And you need one of those. And then I went ahead and cut out these beforehand, and I'll show you all of the die cuts that come with this in a minute. But this is that new velveteen that is also in the suite. It's a velveteen paper, very, very smooth and soft to the touch. And so this card kind of has the not only the dimensions to it, but all the textural environment of it as well. And so I made one of the large snowflakes in that one, and then I used Night of Navy and made another one, because what we're going to do when we go to put this on is kind of offset it a little bit to give it that shadowed look, and when we do, we needed the blue one behind it, so we'll be doing that. And then I cut out one of the real pretty snowflake swirls, again out of the shimmery glimmer paper. And you'll need one of those. Then I took, and I had to do some of this ahead of time just to save some time, but I took our stamping lid, the Night of Navy, and it is the dark one, and I used the wide tip and went around all my pearls and colored them. And then I've placed some on. We'll put a few of them on when we start to put this together and everything, but I just colored the pearls, and that way everything matches. Okay, and this piece is 1.5 by 5 1/4. Then for your inside card, which is this piece here, that one measures 4 by 8, and we'll just score it right in half at 4. And then we have the base card of it, which we're going to score it at 4 1/4, and then we'll flip it over like so and score it at 2 1/8. And what that does is help you have your score lines opposite to each other to make the folding more tight whenever you get ready to do that. Okay, so these are the items that I've used. I did use I don't know if you noticed it, let me bring it back over and show you again. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but I used the quilting. I had not used it on this type of paper before, but I thought it came out really, really pretty, and it's different. So that's what I used, the dynamic quilting, or tough, I'm sorry, the dynamic tough embossing folder. And then this is the new Snowflake Snow is Glistening is one of the stamp sets, and the Snowflake Thinlits. Look how many you get. Aren't they just gorgeous? There's several of them I've stuck in just to make room for them to fit in here, but they are just beautiful. They cut gorgeous. I just can't say enough about them. In fact, I'm going to Florida this next week, and when I go, the card that I made for my swap, which was 100 of them, I cut one out for each one of my cards, so you can imagine this one really got loved this week. We're going to be using this on the inside, which I stamped off with the Night of Navy and brought the little snowflake theme up here. We're going to use the Merry Christmas to You and Peace on Earth, And all of that will be Night of Navy, and I've got it set up on my Stamparatus, so when we get ready to go on that. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I think we can get started. Okay, the first thing we want to do is score our cardstocks, both of them, so we can start putting everything together. So I'm going to bring my score over here and cutter, and let's see if I've got it into the screen here. And let's go ahead and score this one. This is the one we're going to do at 4, because you've got 8 inches. See, you've got the 8-inch cut like that, so you want to go in half at 4. And something I've been using since we've gotten this new tool is I love scoring with this particular attachment, and I just love the way everything scores evenly and comes out very nicely. Okay, let's go ahead and give us a good burnish here and put that to the side. And next we're going to take our card base, and I had mentioned we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So let's go ahead and line that up at 4 1/4 and give that a score. And then I'm going to flip it over. Okay, that way my scoring is the opposite direction. I'm going to line this up at 2 1/8. Make sure it's good and even, looks good and even, and give it a burnish. Okay, so here we fold this direction because we're folding against it, and we're folding against it here. So here you've got the perfect made card. I always enjoy fun fold cards. I think you have a lot of opportunity to showcase a stamp set real nicely, and the pieces that go with it, like in our case the snowflakes on the thinlits, and utilize all that. So let's go ahead and finish up real quickly this by adding a few more of the pieces to it. I think I'd left a couple of them open, so we'll just go ahead in here and go ahead and put it in. And in my lighting, because I'm getting a little bit of a glare and shadow from my lights and stuff like that, it's much easier if you have it closer to you to put these in so that you can see where and keep them even as to where the cross marks of the tucking is going on. Okay, so let's see if we've got enough of everything. I think that looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn it over, and we'll add some glue to that. And I do like using the wet glue when I'm doing this type of work, only because it gives me that extra, well, been using this one a lot, and it feels like we got something in there. Let's get it going. There we go. But I feel like I've got a little bit of wiggle room when I'm wanting to balance it between edges, which is what we're kind of doing with that one, with this one I mean. Okay, so we're going to come in here, and I want to give it a nice border between the edges and make sure that it's even from the top and bottom. I think we've got it there. So now we'll just go ahead and press down. And I see one little, I think I got some of my frosted ink, which we'll be using here in a minute. Let me get my white in out here. My caps are real tight on this, but let's go ahead and put a little bit more blue on that because I can see the silver kind of coming out in it. It's probably where I handled it. So, okay, that looks good. All right, so now let's go ahead and stamp our center card piece and get it ready. So I'm going to bring the Stamparatus on over here, and we'll go ahead and put this over so we can put this one in the corner here. Already got it lined up and ready to go. Make sure these magnets aren't in my way. That looks good. Okay, so we're going to use our Night of Navy and stamp up the piece real well. I always like to clean off. I know it usually won't get on it, but I don't want to stain my lid, so I like to get it off pretty well and fast. So let's go ahead and put that ink transfer on over, and let's see how it took. Nope, we need a little bit more. Didn't put enough pressure over there, so let's go ahead and put a little bit more pressure on this side. beautiful. Very, very pretty. I had a little bit of, but that's okay because we're going to, got it evidently on my magnet pieces there. So we're going to move this on over. And let me wipe off that stamp real quick. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and stamp our little scene, the snowflake scene. I absolutely love this. And I am going to stamp off because I don't want it too dark. So let's go ahead and ink this up. Make sure it's well covered. And then I'm going to come over here on a scrap and get the most of it off and line it up because I want it to not cover my lettering. And then we want to do the edges. So we're going to come over here, and again, I'm going to stamp it off, and I'm going to kind of go over the layer a little bit. And the same thing with this one. I'm going to go over the layer just a little bit. And there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so let's go ahead and wipe this one off as well, so it doesn't stain any more than it needs to. And the next thing I did was I took some of our frosted white new, they say they're inks, but I call them paint, I guess, from previously, but they're the all-purpose ink, and it's the frost white. I have been using this a lot on different things. So what I do is I just shake it up real well. It's got one of the shaker balls in there, and then I take one of my daubers and I just go into my lid, and I want to daub off some of the ink, and then I'll just go around and kind of give it this little frosted look. And keep going around the edges of it. And you can go as high up or as low on the edge as you want to. I kind of have it going in different directions. Kind of reminds me of a frosty morning that you would see maybe some icicles hanging from our frost in the window even. So that's what I did with it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see real well, but it really adds to the card. So let's go ahead and close this up. Get it out of the way. And if you haven't used this before, I like to use our spritzers that come in our catalog. I think you get 2 of them for a little over $3. They're very economical. But I add 91% alcohol about 3/4 the way up on the spritzer, and then I just pour one little drop in of this, and you can use it, what are they called? A dropper. I'll get it out in here. An ear dropper is what I was trying to say, but one of the little droppers, and you can do it that way. But I find it just as easy, and that way I don't waste any on the dropper. It's just very slowly drop that in there, shake it up real well, and anything that you do that you want to have a beautiful shimmer to, you just bring that one on in, and it works really, really nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some glue on the back of this one. And make sure you've got your card piece, because you know it's going to open this way on your base card. So make sure you get it in there right and not put this upside down. Okay, that looks good. Press that down. And we'll set that to the side for a second. And now let's go ahead and we'll put that on in a minute. Let's go ahead and do the next step. Well, we could go ahead and put this one on too, because this piece is going to go right here. So what I'm going to do, had I thought ahead of time, I would have ran this through with a strip of adhesive so that it could have come down, because when you use your glue, if you get too much glue and you don't get it in position, it can leave a few spots. I take our Tombow glue. I get these online. They're little bottles. They're easier for me to handle on small areas like this. So I just kind of dot it around my snowflakes, just enough to make sure that they'll adhere well to the cardstock. And then before we lay it down, I want to make sure that I've balanced it well so that we make sure we don't get what I was talking about as far as movement going on after we lay it down. But again, if you use your adhesive sheets, that would be the smarter way to go on this. I hope you'll enjoy our blog hop today. I'm trying to make this video as quickly as I can because I know you're going to be excited and anxious to get on to the next ladies' blogs. They all do such a terrific job, and we just all love doing these blog hops and enjoy each other's work of art as well. So I think we'll try and lay that down about there and call it a day. I think that fits real well there. I just absolutely love that. And if you wanted to put more bling, you could actually, you know, come in with some of the blue like this and put in the center of the snowflakes. But I think we'll leave it for right now. I think that we've got a good combination there. So we're going to fold this over, and let's go ahead and put some glue on our shimmering glimmer paper so that we can let that be drying. And again, making sure that I've got the right side correct before I lay this on. And we do. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure we're down and secure well here. That piece looks like it needs a little bit more around the corner here. Okay, so now what we have to do, okay, that looks good, and we might as well go ahead and put it in the card before we do, and that way we're just doing our final layer on the outside and we'll be done. So what we want to do is we want to make sure when we put this in here that it gives a nice balance top and bottom here, as well as that it comes over and lays here. So see, you get that nice little seam, so you want that to happen and not have another little white ridge there. So what I'm going to do is put this back where we wanted it and line it up with my grid paper here. I think that looks good. And so I'm going to bring this over very carefully, and hopefully I'm still in the frame here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my glue on and then just open it up and put it back onto the where we positioned it, so it'll be where we want it to be. Okay. Oh, moved it just a little bit, so let me line it back up here so we got a nice balance before I put this down. Very nice. Straight. Looking good. I just think this is a gorgeous, simple card, but it's just very, very elegant, I think. So hopefully you'll enjoy it and make you a couple of your own. So let's go ahead and fold this down now and fold this over. Perfect. And you can keep burnishing these. I'm kind of running a quick one here, and that way they'll lay down, and you'll want to burnish that before you put all your decorations on to help out there. Okay, so now what we're going to do with this piece here is when I line it up with the, see how I just kind of offset it just a little bit like we've done here, and so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to just go ahead and put me a little bit of glue on the back here and around there. It's just kind of dotted at different places so that it attaches where it needs to attach. Because again, we'll offset this when it gets on there. But I thought it gave a nice little dimensional effect on the card, especially with the glimmering paper behind it. So we got two things going on there. We can see the glimmer coming through, plus we can see a little bit of the blue shadowing of the card color, and so this would be pretty in really any kind of color. So I want to make sure that I have it lined up first in the right direction, which I do. My little peaks going. And then I just kind of pulled it a little bit off to the side. And then you can see how now we've got a real pretty dimension of the blue behind it. Okay, so now we want to put us some dimensionals. I'm going to use a large one on the center. I don't think we need two of them there in the center. And then I'm going to use my small dimensionals and put around the peak of the star or the snowflake. Well, maybe I will. It wants to stick there on me. Get that off since it's wanting to come off. Sometimes I do just as well to do it with my fingers instead of the tools, so we'll do that. I need to have my husband kind of grind this down a little bit. It has a little bit of a tip nick on it there, and it catches on stuff, so I need to get him with his tools and just sharpen that up a little bit and take that little nick off of there. So are you all ready for Christmas? I know we have Thanksgiving right around the corner, but all of us are thinking Christmas already because we just got a few more weeks left. I hate to even count up how many weeks it is, but that's a lot. So you need to get busy and make all your Christmas cards and get those mailed out if you can right after Thanksgiving, and let everybody have time to enjoy your work of art and the homemade card that you sent them. It'll be a treasure for years to come for them. So while we're doing this, and I'm kind of talking, if you aren't a demonstrator and you don't have a demonstrator assigned to you right now, or you're not following one, and you're interested in becoming a demonstrator, whether it's to make you a business or as a hobbyist, I would love to become your demonstrator and have you join my team. So if you're interested in that, when we finish up here, there is a link to my store, and you can order supplies there, or if you'd like to join the team, you're able to go in there and join the team, or if you'd like to discuss a little bit further with me, my email address is there as well. So I'd be glad to do that and talk with you about it. Okay, so let me see where I put it. I had my dazzling diamonds out here a second ago. I don't see them now. Oh, here it is. Okay, so what I did with the dazzling diamonds is, because I'm going to put a dimensional behind this, one of the large ones, it left, of course, the glue there. So I thought it would be pretty to just toss some dazzling diamonds on it, and that too took the gluey front off of it, so it won't have a gluey front going on, and gave that dimensional behind it the white sparkle like the cardstock has, and we put this right into the center. So let me lift that up and see if you can see the dimensional in your the glitter, in the dazzling diamonds over there. So, well, we have a card. It's complete, and as you can see, very easy, beautiful card. Fit in the envelope real well and could be mailed. Because of your embellishments, you might want to use a puffy envelope with it, or just put you can turn them inside out, another direction, or you can just put another cardstock piece over your embellishments and stick it in your envelope, and that way it'll protect them a little bit. Okay, so thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed our blog, and I look forward to seeing you again. God bless and have a great day. Thank you, and happy stamping.